Welcome to the Bronx Aerosol Arts Documentary Project. Today is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. I am Pastor Crespo Jr., the Research Librarian and Archivist for the Bronx County Historical Society. Tonight, I am joined by Lucky Bling. Lucky Bling is a pioneering aerosol artist, a Bronx writer. He is the right-hand man, guardian, business social advisor, and confidant to the father EmCee of Hip Hop, Kool. Welcome, Lucky Bling.
Welcome.
Awesome to have you here tonight. Thank you so much. I know you guys are busy. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. We like to start out all of our interviews by finding out your history. Where do your parents come from?
My parents come from Puerto Rico, from an island, but also they travel, around the world. Also Colombia, Panama, Haiti, everywhere around the world my parents travel. So I learned a little bit of everything. And I was going around the world twice a year, and sometimes even 3 times a year, travel to learn different culture, not just my culture, but other people's culture.
Wow. And this traveling was when you were a kid, when you were young, growing up?
Yes, when I was young, yeah.
Awesome. How'd you guys end up in the Bronx?
We wound up in the Bronx because we had family here.
Okay.
We had family already established here, and we came for a visit, and New York was different than every part of the world. Everywhere has its own riches, its own culture,
Right.
his own way of looking at things that would just spark you and just call your attention. But where the family was at, they were at the Bronx. So my parents came from there and said, well, after we do all the traveling and we do all this, we're going to settle in the Bronx.
Awesome. Where were you born?
I was born in a tropical island, and a very beautiful island, and it's called Puerto Rico.
Awesome. And when did you guys move here? What decade did you guys move to the Bronx?
68, 69.
How old were you?
I was very young. I was I think it was 7 years old, 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And what neighborhood did your parents end up moving to? Where'd you settle?
Decatur Avenue in the Fordham area. Then we had T-Bow in the Fordham area.
Okay.
And then where we was also in it was a street called I was real young the first time when we came, and Davidson Avenue, and everywhere we used to go everywhere.
Awesome. And you know what? I'm looking at all the stuff on the table here, and forgive me. Let's talk about that first. You know what I'm saying? What do we got on this table here?
We got a historical story behind every hat, every environment, everything that this is what this culture was brought up. Beautiful people that's put a lot of work and dedication, that never got their dues, and they was like, Lucky, I would like you to wear my hat because you out there and you travel, and and maybe you could spark something that I'm not doing, but you're doing it in a different way. So normally I keep some of the hats, and I got a lot of hats. I got tons of hats, but these are like hats very dear to me because there's a lot of people that are historical into the limelight, even private life, even friendship life, that I will build a good friendship with all of them. And
pick one out and talk to us about one. One that kind of sticks to you and has a lot of meaning to you.
This one right here.
Nice. What do you got here?
I have EmCee TNT. He's
Nice.
titled as the creator of Spanish rap. And that means a lot because that's also for Coach Who, where my bloodline runs through. And it's like I'm happy that he made it compared to other kids that didn't make it.
Right.
So that's why but they all, for me, I feel all of them are special in every individual way. I chose him, like I said, but there's a lot of Hispanics, you know.
Pick one
Kid
up and-
Freeze, Kid Freeze is another one,
Nice.
you know.
Much respect, Kid Freeze.
The vets. Vets is very special because in my era, where this culture came from, a lot of vets came from Vietnam. And it's telling a story, and I knew a lot of vets. I have family that went into the military.
Thank you.
So that means a lot to me, and it's powerful. And, you know,
I served 20 years in the Army, so thank you.
so that means a lot to
I
me,
appreciate
you know.
that respect.
And I want to give back to them because sometimes they don't get the acknowledgement also and the respect they're supposed to. You know, that they fought so long in this war and fought for this country. And I think when you do that and you survive everything, you pay your dues. You went beyond your boundaries, and you know, as brotherhoods that they say, they keep it together and they survive, just like we survive in the Boogie Down Bronx.
Right.
You know, so there's plenty a lot. Like you know, another one is this hat was made for me custom. Normally he makes them only for pioneers. We got so much name for this
Can
gentleman.
you turn so we can see the bill?
Yes,
Bling, the other way around.
and then the bling.
Ah, there you go.
You know, and we you know, he always got his face painted. His name is Clash, you know, and we call him the War Warrior. Coke the Rock called him another name, you know. So everybody give him a different name, and it's special.
You see the one with the big old
Yes,
at all of
That's
heating
it.
up rocks jams?
That's it.
yes,
God, he's got that big old monster medallion.
yes.
That's it.
You know, and you know he does everything custom. He has a idea and a mystery in his mind that he creates things that I would love to wear things like that
Awesome.
because it's different.
Awesome.
You know,
And I appreciate all of the gear here because, you know, one of the things that the B-boys or the breakers have is their image.
yes,
You know, that's what's hugely marketable for the B-boy. So thank you.
yes, and I also have to name two more at least.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Kingdom.
Yes, this gentleman came to me and Coke the Rock and a lot of pioneers, but mostly to me and Coke, and said, "Hey, I made some sneakers especially for you and some gears. I would like you just to have it for you. You don't have to worry whenever you don't want. Just so me and Coke, we went to Yankee Stadium when Coke the Rock did his performance at the 50 years of hip hop to celebrate hip hop. The historical. Me and Coke, we came and surprised him and wore his gear and just stand out just to give back, you know. And also Uncut. Uncut is a young man that we also love and support. Why? Because this kid, he's from another country, that he comes here and he makes a living out of this. But not only a living, he keeps the traditional culture still in the roots where he first started. And what he did was he honored Coke just like we honor him. So we respect everybody that at least shows some respect to this culture and who we are. And that's what we give back.
Nice, nice. Now I gotta ask because in the corner there, you got a clave.
Yes.
So please, you know, talk to me about the clave.
All right, I'm going to touch it too just to show you. Clave is a tool, it's an instrument. So it depends how you use it. Some people say it's a tool. Some people say it's an instrument. I say it's a sound barrier. It's something that put everything in one form and in one shape when you listen to it. You got to have an ear. See, I was born with deaf on one side. So every time I heard a noise, so that keeps you in tune. So I used to play the drums. So for me, before I learned how to play the drums, I had to learn how to play this instrument. And I was like, why everybody gets the big equipment, I get the little thing? But don't you know that this instrument is what keep everybody in tune and form and in the same place. And when you go out of tune, you can come back to it because it blends in. And that's why we have this in our culture. And this is decades, and I have this over 45 years. I have this in my hands, you know. And I had another one and it broke down, and then another one and I gave it away for a gift. But this one is very dear to me because I have it over that much years, and I had other ones too. I got a whole bunch of them. These are special things that brings my culture together and every other culture, you know. So it's just keeping time into our music.
The baston.
Yes. This right here is Lucky Bling's. One of his trademarks is this, and his cigars is, you know, respect as an older person. Like, I was always brought up in a place that we always respect somebody in the family, somebody that was high in power, that you respected, not because it was forced to respect this person. It was something that represent and reflect respect and honor. And most of us, back in the days, we always saw a gentleman, because that's what, we don't say other names, we say a gentleman that will always have a stick, and it had always different type of color. This one is silver, and silver was one of the main ones because not everybody had gold. So the silver one was very powerful, and it also was a weapon inside some of them. But sometimes they could have a gun inside of them. So, you know, we used to walk the streets back in the days, you know, wear hats and a style just to represent, you know, what this is very dear to historical time, and people don't use it. I still use it to this day. You know, even when I was young, I was using it. Just like the cigar. I brought cigar, but I didn't put it here because I don't know what platform this might go with if it's for younger kids. So I didn't want to, because the cigar is one of my main trademark, because my great grandmother in Puerto Rico, she works in a tobacco field, and she made tobacco, so I honor her dearly, you know. And I always have a cigar in my hand. I never smoke it.
Really?
I never smoked a cigar in my life, but out of respect and honor, I always carry a cigar, and I'm $60, $80 cigar didn't mean nothing to me because it felt like I'm having my great grandmother always on my right hand, while I have my other friend on my left hand watching over me.
Awesome. Great. And tell us, I mean, where did your parents settle when you arrived here in the Bronx?
They settled up on there was a small street right on West Farm Road. It was a house. We lived in a house. And I had family visit us because some of them came from Jersey, some of them came from upstate. So we was in the center. The borough that was the middle was the Bronx for us. So everybody used to meet up before they go and be part. So that was where we used to gather everybody together in the Bronx. It's like the 5 boroughs. If you have a family in every 5 boroughs, the main place that they will go to, it was the Bronx, because it was more controllable.
Got it. You got any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have brothers and sisters. Yes.
Awesome. And tell us about where did you go to elementary school at?
I went to PS 85. You know
where's that at?
That's off of Wester Avenue.
Got it.
Right off of Wester Avenue. Yeah.
Awesome.
And was that Marion? Between Wester and Marion.
Right
there.
Got it. And in your neighborhood, you know, what kids games did you guys end up playing?
And we played the most fun games that I wish this generation could understand. We played manhunt. We played hopscotch. We played jump rope. Even with the girls, yeah, I played it. You know, we played double dutch. We did the hopscotch. Oh my God, we did that so many times. We played the tops. You know, we played the yo-yo.
The Skelsies?
The Skelsies. We played everything. We played everything that you could name of. Even on tag, you know. We used to play tag a lot in the neighborhood. But after a while you grow up and you evolve not doing those type of games. But We also we play ball, state ball. You know, we play baseball, we box. You know, I did a lot of stuff. I swam. You know, I love the water. Since 3 years old, I was always fishing. I was always in a boat.
All right.
Yeah.
Where'd you go fishing at out here?
Well, I started in the islands.
Got it.
And also when I used to come over here, I used to go, the most famous was Orchard Beach, was one of them.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Orchard Beach, or knows Orchard Beach. But, and in the islands, we used to go in every place that there was water surrounding us. I was born in an area called Fajardo. It's the biggest port of tourism and also what brings everything to the island. So there's always water there.
Right.
So, you know, and it's a place that is historical. You know, every landmark got something special, but I will not trade that for nothing in the world.
Nice. And at home, you're an artist. You're a writer. What kind of artistic influence did you have at home?
Well, I picked up artistry because I came from the islands, and I didn't know how to read because I was too young. So for me to express myself, my feelings, I used to draw it for the teacher.
Okay.
And I understood mostly. I was catching on because I was here already in kindergarten, you know, going to first grade. So in first grade, the teacher was like, oh, you know, you don't worry about it. Just do whatever you could write it. And I didn't know how to pronounce it, so I used to draw it.
Right.
So that's how I started drawing different kind of characters and whatever I think I saw or heard, and that's how I started getting involved.
Awesome. Now, when you were a kid growing up, you know, what were those meals that you enjoyed having at home?
The home meal of our Kool, you know, everybody talk about the pasteles up and in, but it's deeper than that because we had the oatmeal, the grits that we call farina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the cornmeal. We had everything that you could imagine. And I'm sorry, but this is fruit stew to me. The bacalao, the viandas. You know, that's historical right there.
The codfish and the
Yeah,
vegetables.
codfish, yes, and all the vegetables and everything, because I would still get it. What I had over there, I could still pick it up here.
Right.
So it bring me back home even if I wasn't home. So that was special.
A little bit of Puerto Rico in the Bronx?
Yes.
Awesome. And what elementary school did you go to?
PS 85.
PS 85? I don't have. And what's your oldest memory of PS 85?
PS 85 had a rocket ship inside.
All right.
You go to a class that he was the guy that talks about space. And he will bring you in the room with the class. And he's inside another room. And he's shaped like a rocket inside the school. Inside a room. The whole thing is a rocket. And everything plays out like you go into space. And it was so beautiful and so advanced. I never seen that, never in my life. I even went to a couple of schools. I never seen that when I was coming up. Mm-hmm. So what it does, they put you in a room and you do the counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you get to 0, the whole thing starts.
It's like a simulator.
It was simulating just everything like a rocket. And then you see space on a dome. It wasn't square. It was a dome. You look up. We was sitting on the floor with our legs crossed, just looking up, and we thought we was flying this ship. And then on top of that, it shows you how it breaks the barrier, the ozone layer, and it breaks everything in between. And suddenly you wind up in space, and then it starts getting dark. And next thing you know, you see Orion's belt, you see Venus, you see Pluto, you see all these type of stars that's out there, and you be like, wow, I'm in space, man. You know, and so that, you know, that's like somebody getting high for free. Mm-hmm. You know, so for us, it was like just giving us more way of advancing our minds and our thoughts because it opened up a lot of things to me.
That's a beautiful memory. That's awesome. What middle school did you go to?
I went to IS 158. That's senior high school. That's a home street, right around Coke.
Got it. Awesome. What is your oldest recollection of that school?
Man, a teacher saved my life. There, I told only Coke knows this, and one more person. You know, I used to be heavy in the street. I'm talking about respected in the street. I was never a bully. I never been a bully. I didn't like people like Coke. Never liked it. Nobody bully nobody. So I used to come strapped to school.
Middle school.
Yes, in junior high school.
Gotcha.
And there was a time that this kid was bullying somebody, and I thought that I wanted to show the kid, like, why don't you handle business with me? It was like almost similar story, because I don't know how I'm so similar with Coke. It's like, it's so special, and people don't know how deep this is. This teacher came and said, hey, Lucky, I'm not going to say my government. Hey, Lucky, after school stay. He never said that. So I was like, wow, did I say something wrong? I disrupted the class, whatever. He said, hey, Lucky, go home right now. Don't worry about it. Act like you want lunch and put that away. I said, what are you talking about? He said, put that away. Don't bring it here. Now, it was a 12 gauge shotgun to start off. That now I reflect and say, wow, I would have been locked up for nonsense. I would have been doing 10, 15, 20 years for nothing. Because I didn't hurt nobody just by having it. But I didn't let nobody touch me. I didn't let nobody touch my friends. And I put that respect in that name. I did put that very dearly, but out of respect, not to be a bully. That's a difference. When you're a bully, you get what you get. But if you're a humble person, I will pay my dues to you. And that's how I was. Because I never liked that bully stuff. I never did.
Talk to us. I mean, you're carrying guns to junior high school. What was your neighborhood like?
My neighborhood was, everybody was like family. Everybody was a community. You know, everybody respond to everybody. Everybody watch over the kids to each other. And I was different. I was real quiet. I wasn't a loudmouth. I was always to myself, always doing artwork and stuff like that, trying to picture what I want to do for the next art, and always innovating different type of stuff. I became like a MacGyver. If something was broken, I fix it. You know, I didn't take it nowhere. I didn't take it to no school, no shoe repair shop. I used to fix it and made it look better or had a different twist to it.
How'd you pick up writing?
Writing, like I said, writing is special to me because it helped me get out of a lot of situations also. I didn't know how to speak English. I didn't speak English at all. So it opened up and made friends because the other friends wanted me to draw a nice, beautiful heart with some birds and stuff for their girlfriend. So I used to draw it for them and then they write a poem on that. So I won a lot of friends and I made a lot of people. You know, simple things like that, you know.
Lucky Bling, your first tag?
No, it was Raz. I don't never say
Spell
that.
it?
R-A-Z.
Got it.
And if you look at the definition is like be hidden. So that's what I always was. I was hidden, always hiding, hitting, doing my thing, but hitting privately to this day.
Got it. And what was the first tool that you wrote with? Was it a marker? Was it a school-made marker?
Nah.
What'd you use?
I use Griffin.
Talk to me about it. Griffin is a shoe polish, guys.
Yes. I didn't have a marker, and you know everybody used to have pens and stuff like that, and I wanted to go a little bit beyond, so I used to have Griffin to shine my shoes and to polish them when I go to church or when I go out to dance or go out wherever, even to eat. we had to wear shoes sometimes.
That had to bleed a lot, no?
Yeah,
The
it
graffiti?
bleed. So then I had a, when you put it on, just when you do the R, it just dripped. So then I had, wow, well, it come out nice, but then it starts dripping and mess it up. So then I learned a control how to do the Griffin style. And that's why it helped me having some lines and some shape to have more control. And then I had good penmanship in school. I was good with my penmanship. A lot of people don't know what penmanship means, but that was a...
They don't teach that anymore.
Right, they don't teach that anymore. That's a creative of art into letters that you would just go over with a way of style and finesse when you write your name or when you're writing your script. And that's what that means.
Awesome, awesome. Talk to us about, how did you get Lucky Bling? How did that become your moniker, your tag?
Oh man, Lucky Bling, I owe it all to this special person, man. I don't care what people say, because he gave me the name. Kool, the first hip hop MC. He made Lucky Bling. That he gave that name to me because when I was Raz, I used to be tagging. I was part of the Vandal Squad, and they were looking for me. Yeah, I could say it now. I never said that before. They were looking for me because I used to tag up a lot of subways everywhere. Like every kid that wanted to put their name out there, and I wanted just to be different.
What lines did you hit?
I hit the 4, the 5, the 7, the 2, the 6, every line that I could have too. But I was doing it in a creative style that I never written over somebody. I respected the next person. I never was there to toy them or to bomb them. No, it was very different. It was just me.
Now, you hit something real quick. Your relationship with Kool.
Yes.
Talk to us about that relationship, because you guys are tight.
Listen,
You're brothers.
We had a bond because especially because he went to Archivist Smith. I went to Samuel Gompers, but then after school I went to Archivist Smith, and I saw Kool coming out of school while I was going to school. So we never saw each other, but I knew who he was, and I've been involved in the streets, and then we got involved, and I said, hey, Kool, this is going on. They're looking for me, because I've been tagging, I've been doing, all the normal stuff we do, and I think I did too much, and I don't want my moms to find out. Kool said, listen, we're going to fix this. He said, in the morning, be here. I was there. Said, hey, Lucky Bling. I like, what? Hey, Lucky Bling. Say, what? And it stuck. That day.
Nice, nice. Can you talk to us about the first time you ever hit the trains?
I was very advanced.
How old were you in, like, what year, what time frame?
Listen, I was doing tagging at the age of 8. Because I didn't know how to read English. I knew Spanish because that was my main language.
Now, that's 8. I'm putting it all together here with my broken math. That's the early 70s.
Yeah.
And you're right. Definitely a pioneer.
And I was hitting hard. I was hitting hard. A lot of subway, not just subways, bathroom, tables, schools. We used to even go to some schools on, Halloweens and stuff, fight against the other school and not tag up on anywhere,
God. Did you ever go to the writer's bench?
No.
No? Did you ever congregate with other writers in
No,
certain
because
spots?
like I said, I was Raz. I kept to myself. When you're a real artist, you don't need a crew. You stand, like Kool said, you stand on your own. You're not a stepping stone. You're not there to become somebody else or to copy somebody else, because I was never a biter.
Right.
I had my own thoughts, my own mind, and I was a leader, not a follower. Never.
Got it. Now, you talked to us about some of the lines that you hit. You hit any layups, any yards?
Yeah, hit a lot.
Talk to me about the first layup you ever hit.
The most funniest thing in Longwood back in the days had the train yards.
Okay.
I used to hit there with the lumber yards. And one time, they left a lot of straight, clean lumber. And I said, I'm not going to hit a tree, I'm going to hit the lumber. And I did the lumber. And I wrote Raz, well, real nice, real big. And I just took pride of that. Because I took it to a different, it wasn't just a subway. And it wasn't just the basic stuff. It was a lumber. So I said, with that name, it's going to travel everywhere. It's going to be put around the world, wherever it's going to be put. Because each piece is going to have a letter or even a bit of my symbol. And everybody's going to have it. If it's inside of somebody's house, somebody's basement, somebody's backyard, it's going to have Raz on it without them even knowing. That's why hieroglyphic stands out so much, because that's one of the first, for me, language into the art field. And that's when, King Tut and all this was made in the cave. They used to do hieroglyphics in the caves, and in Puerto Rico they did the same thing. And I went to a couple of underground caves, and they had symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me feel that I had to do artwork.
Wow. Awesome. And can you talk to us about one of the adventures hitting a yard or a layup, getting in and getting out?
Oh my God.
So give me a story.
Well, in the beginning, it was a little bit easy. Why it was easy? Because nothing could have stopped when you're young and stupid and ignorant. Let me be the truth. When you're young, stupid, and ignorant, nothing stops you. You stand in front of a gun, and you be like, somebody else be like, you dumb, why are you in front of a gun? Why? Because, like I said, we was innovators. We used to dig holes. I used to dig holes just to go under the fence. Or now I used to clip the fence. I used to do so much stuff, even lift up the fence, cut the main wire on the side that every 6 feet that holds the fence tight, and just lift it up and go under and scoop right in. So anyway, I used to get into anything.
Got it. What were you mostly known for? Were you a motion tagger? Were you an inside guy? Or did you do more piecing and throw-ups?
I did a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
I did a little bit of everything, especially a lot of throw-ups. I did a lot of throw-ups. But what I wanted was not just my name. I wanted the style to stand out. Some people would do bubble letters. Some people would do square letters. Some people just do fine letters.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends where you want to put your lines and how you was going to produce it for somebody to see it.
Can you tell us about the most dangerous yard you ever hit? Or
Well, let me tell you something. I hit something that there was a gentleman. He was a Yugoslavian, and he used to paint the bridges. Okay, but this gentleman, he was a white man, Yugoslavian, so he used to be drinking all the time, because I guess that's what kept him working and sturdy. So I came and told him, listen, what you doing? He told me, listen, I'm painting thing. And I said, yeah, but the wind, it moves you and stuff like that. So I started learning. He said, yeah, but the only thing you got to know is how to balance yourself. So I learned how to balance myself. And one time I did a bridge, under the bridge, right where he was working at. Because I went to pick him up, and I find out where he was working at. And then at nighttime, I hit the bridge, under the bridge.
Nice. Take me back even further. The first time you saw a piece that kind of like, wow, that hit you. Take me to that moment.
Any art is a piece, because it's a sign of emotions, and back in the day we used to use vibrant colors. The hippies had a lot of vibrant colors.
Got it.
So the style, everybody had their own style. So as a writer, as an artist, and what I put on the table is, you must respect everybody's artistry. I can't pick and choose. Because if I came from this artistry, I don't want somebody judging my artistry. That's my mind of thought, my way of feeling comfortable or not comfortable. Because sometimes you could do it out of anger. You could do it in a happy mood. You could do it just in a love mood. So it depends what you feel at the moment will inspire you to put something wherever you want to put it.
Got it. When did you first rack? I'm being presumptuous here.
Oh man, I was young.
You were young?
Yeah.
Do you remember what store you hit and how you racked?
Listen, Sears was one of them in Puerto Rico. I lived there, right on Decatur Avenue.
Got it.
You know, but I went to church, and I had to pay a little bit more. Why? Because when you see the Father, and you tell him that you did something during the week, or that you go and see, you gotta say a couple of Hail Marys and this and that. But at the box, I put a little bit more. I felt guilty. And that was the one time that I felt guilty because I saw it as an art. I didn't see it as hurting any landmark, anything that's they were trying to put out there. I didn't take it like that. I just took it for fun.
Got it. And what paints did you use? What cans?
Crayon.
Krylon?
Yeah.
Any other ones?
The Royal. We had Royal. We even had Martin paint.
Martin paint?
They even had spray can.
Got it.
A lot of people don't talk about Martin paint. That was right down the hill before you hit West Avenue. It was across the street from the bank, and there was a McDonald's right next to it.
We have one on the Lower East Side on East Broadway.
Yeah.
Martin paints. That's
Yeah.
right. Caps. Were special caps significant to your writing? Talk to us about the caps.
Sometimes I dip a hole in it to make it like they gush more.
Right.
I just used to put, sometimes I even tape it up. I used to tape it up. Like they won't leak that much because sometimes the cops are chasing you. So you didn't want it in your hands, And sometimes our bandana, I had double the bandana, so I used to put bandana in my hand and spray it. A lot of people don't talk about that either.
Right.
Bandana was very special to a lot of people because it's not only stopping you from the fume that covering your face, but it's also not for you to get paint in your hand and you can take it off and wrap it and put it to the side.
That's all your mother needed to see was your hands with paint.
Right. And when there's always one person that messes it up for everybody because, like I said, they get caught. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And he could get he the one who did it, but you know who got caught. Why? Because you had your hand painted, but it wasn't you. It was somebody else.
Right.
A lot of that happened.
Got it. Did you ever rack caps from the stores?
Yeah, I had to, because sometimes they get lost and you wanted to have extra. Everything you wanted to have extra.
What caps did you rack from what bottles?
For Niagara. My mom used to.
Niagara?
Yeah.
Starch?
Because he used to throw more. A lot of people don't talk about that either. Frito, he did number 4. He used to do that a lot too. Yeah. A lot of people, great artists used to do things like that. It was so many things that happened in that time that, like I said, we did it for enjoyment. It wasn't really to hurt nobody.
Did you have a certain style or anything that you were known for?
My style was when I did I did bubble letters in the beginning, right? And then from bubble letters I went to, when I did the rash, I never did it together. I did it one on top of each other. They would come straight down.
Right.
And that was a style that I never seen nobody do it that way. Everybody would maybe put it under it, but not diagonally. Not diagonally.
Got it. Did you do characters or?
Sometimes I used to do characters.
And any certain characters?
Yeah, I used to do sometimes the guy, the wino, or the guy that used to smoke the green, the chiba, the weed.
Right.
I used to make a guy with a blunt in his hand, stuff like that.
Sweet. Where did you? I know you were a lone writer, but were there any other writers that you went out with? On occasion.
I don't do that.
Always on your own.
Yeah. It's good to go on your own sometimes because they would say, if it's not you got caught, we all got caught. No, if you got caught, you got caught.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Solo lo hace, solo lo paga.
There you go. Did you have any mentors in the writing world? Some other writers that you looked up to?
Like I said, there was this Snow, just to give names, you know, the Snow was different. Seed, Storm, you know, a lot of writers. I respect every writer. That's why I don't like to give names.
Yeah.
Because then I'm just singing it out.
Right.
Them directly and like giving the shout to them because I'm saying their name. But they all writers. They all bombers. And they all my brothers, so.
Got it. Is there a certain piece that's most memorable, something you're proudest of? Like, wow, that's my masterpiece.
Every time I did something, that's how I thought. But I was doing it better and better.
Got it. Slowly improving.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Did you ever get involved with any of the other elements of hip hop?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
I got with a lot of break dancers, EmCee, Kool Rock, you know, DJs. So I was involved with all the elements through this culture. And fashion was always what we used to rock. We used to take our pants, iron them to the T.
Talk to us about the fashion.
The fashion was, we all elevated on fashion. You know, you out of nothing we made something. What I mean is, if you wear some Converse or British Walkers or whatever sneakers you wearing, Pumas or whatever, we used to fat lace them. We used to open up the lace. We bring the tongue out. You know, it gives you a standpoint of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I started wearing a lot of jean jackets, because a lot of gangs used to wear the vest with the jean jacket. I was never in the gang. I knew all the gangs. I know a lot of them, touch hands with them, hang with them, and done a lot of stuff with them. But like I said, I was a man on my own, just like Coach says. I used to stand out because I used to always wear my clothes different. And that meant a lot to me, because also the women and the ladies. I say woman at first because I was at the age of 13 and I was going out with older women. I used to work in a club as a bartender that normally you're supposed to be 21 and older. And then there was clubs that were 25 and older. That's where was all the cougars. So I used to work in those clubs. And I was a young man, 13, 14 years old, living a life and being around these people and these women that will give it all to you. So I was involved in all the clubs, and then I went beyond that. A lot of people don't understand. Still, the people don't talk about the tunnel, the underground, you know, Studio 54. Nobody talk about other clubs that they were real, even social clubs. We had a lot of social clubs, you know, and the social clubs, it was just one exit in. Most of them, there was one way in and one way out, you know. So a lot of people don't understand that, because these young kids don't understand. But I want to let them know what this whole history is really about.
What age were you when you were working at the club? You said 13.
13, 14.
We're talking about the mid 70s.
Yeah, 70s, 80s, going to the 80s. Yeah.
Got it. What music were they playing in those clubs?
They were playing a lot of discos, a lot of salsa. They had merengue too. They had bolero. They had funk. They had the cha cha cha. Listen, they had they even had tap dancing. A lot of people don't even know about tap dancing, and we even had tap dancing. They even had competition on tap dancing, you know. So it all depends on what rhythm. We have funk, a lot of funk, you know. But disco everything was mixed with disco, and then suddenly hip hop started.
When was the first time you ever saw a breaker?
Breaker?
Talk to me about that moment. How did it impress you? What were they doing?
We was imitating them sometimes, some other guys,
Right.
you know. And they all started, like I said, with disco, and suddenly they just revolved with, when the music started changing, they revolved with a different style of dance to it. So it came with the territory. So from disco, you had to hustle, you know, and you dancing with a female back and forth. Now you're a breaker. Now you by yourself sometimes. You're showing your dance, your moves.
Awesome. And were you ever asked to do a piece for like B-boys or a backdrop for DJs? Did you participate in any?
I did for a lot of people upstate New York, a lot of white people. I even did the floor for them.
All right, so you do some commission work?
Yeah, I did a lot of commission work. Yes, I did a lot. And
talk to us about a memorable commission work that you did.
This lady found out that I did artwork, and so she said, "Listen, I just got a floor done. It over 200 years old wood, and it was in my kitchen, and I want you to do the center of it." So what I did was I said, "Well, what do you want? Tell me if you want scrolls, if you want what kind of lines you want. You want it fine, you want it, thick." So I gave her an outlook, and she said, "Do a freestyle. Do whatever you want." And that's what got me to do something on wood. So what I did, I shaved the wood because a 200-year-old wood is just dark. And it has holes, and it has, so what it looked at, it was amazing because what I did was, I did a whole layout as brick in the background, and I just did some design on it that comes around and just come with skirts and with high definition of style to the low definition of style. Then I came and I brought it up with a centerpiece, and I put a center part on it that it was amazing. She took pictures forever with that.
Wow. Where was that? You upstate?
Upstate New York, yeah.
Nice. What year?
That was in 86, 87, yeah.
In this new hip hop world, did you go to any jams and participate and
there were jams everywhere.
All right.
Especially in the Bronx. We had anywhere you go, mostly on the weekend, somebody had a talent show, somebody had a community center dance, somebody had a Swiss 16. Well, for the females was a Swiss 15, the Spanish culture. Yes. So, it all depends. There was always a party, so sometimes we party hop or we club hop. If you go in a club, it was all club. It was just house to house, even in the basement we used to go. So there was a party everywhere.
Right.
But it was special parties. Now everybody could have gone to, because that's when the gangs was there too. Nobody really talks about that. Gangs had a lot of control in some neighborhood that you would not pass through that neighborhood, or they see you as a funny character because everybody was funny for them because you don't belong there.
We haven't talked about that. Take us through the gangs in the mid-'70s, in your neighborhood, and remind us of your neighborhood.
Well, the neighborhood had mostly every neighborhood have a strong gang. Why? Because they make sure that nobody in that sector will get hurt, or nobody will infiltrate or come in your neighborhood to do something disrespectful or looting or anything like that. Especially when you have a home culture neighborhood that everybody watch for each other. So a lot of people knew from the outside, now don't go over there. Maybe we could try over here, but not over there.
What gangs were active?
The Black Spades, the Ghetto Brothers. There was so many gangs. The Savage Snowman, the Baldies, everybody. The Chickalings, the Black Falcons.
The Baldies, were they from Morris Park?
Yeah. Everybody had a gang, but as a lot of people didn't understand what a gang stand for, because sometimes you could everybody just have let's say a jacket or a symbol that was just a piece. Zulu Nation had a gang, Babana had a gang with the Black Spade. That's why he divided with Zulu and made it his own in that style, So everybody had a gang.
Got it. And were there any any beefs or any problems with gangs that you noticed in your neighborhood?
There was always certain type of beef because there was a lot of pretty girls. So when you have a pretty girl, everybody want to get that girl.
Right.
So people from everywhere else want to come and challenge. So that, or sometimes you write on somebody's, somewhere that you ain't supposed to, and they come and get you, or you do something disrespectful to a minor or something, and we knock on your door. We going to search for you and we get you. There was time that even Kool, it's weird because we leave you without your hinges out your door and say you must move. Less than 24 hours. So it all depends how you manipulate this story and where you want to take it, how deep you want to take it. Because, this story could be good, the bad and ugly, like Kool says.
Right. Did you move like a lot of artists onto canvas? Have you done any canvas? What's the difference for you?
Canvas
is
is just enjoying what you like. And whatever you want to put there, you taking your time, your precision, and making it for your details. When you want any landmark or anything that you want to put it, you trying to just do it and get it done and get out. You're not really admiring it until you see it the second, third day. That's the difference. You wait till the next day to admire it. You're not admiring it while you're doing it. You're speeding. You're doing all the work and trying to just get it done.
Right.
But when you put on canvas, it relates to something. It's like a more attachment to it in a way too, because now you integrate it with something that you can reflect and moving around. Most of the pieces you don't move around, only back in the days when the train was passing, that's the only way they would move around. And that's what our internet was.
Got it. Awesome. How has writing for you, from when you first started writing, your style, how has it changed to today?
Respected. I felt now what I always wanted was, I don't like fame, I don't like glory. Like I said, I want to always be here. But when your name comes up, it means a lot to a lot of people, because a lot of people step up to you and say, hey, not for nothing, I admire your job, but what you did with Kool and the guys, TNT, Kevin Myers, y'all put it back on the map and bringing back history. How it all first started, out of peace, love, and happiness. And that was the main drop that touches me, especially when a young man said, I saw your piece one time, or I saw some of your artwork somewhere, and I never took my life because of that, because I thought, because you gave me life. And a lot of people don't understand that either. If you're an artist, I'm talking about in general, you're an MC, you're a DJ, you're a B-boy, you're not just reflecting what you see in front of you. You're reflecting to other people so much positivity. Because what we do is positive. So we give him positivity to give to the next future, for the next generation. And that's how it all started. With Kool taking that mic and become the first hip-hop MC to our first generation. Then it reflected to other artists that MC TNT did it, Melly Mel, everybody else followed, got on the boat ride, got on the train ride, but got there all together in their own ways.
Nice. And what does graffiti mean to you, or writing?
Writing, a lot. I like graffiti. A lot of people call themselves writers because for them it's like more respectable in that style. But you cannot change graffiti. That's the rawness. That's the truthness. I don't care how you put it. You become a writer because you went to a couple of galleries. You did certain things. No. We all gotta respect each other as the fine art that we put out there and what we want the next generation to pick up. Like I said, they don't even do no more writings. Everything's on the tablet. So sometimes you think you're going forward, but we going 20, 30 years back when you do all this computer stuff because a kid cannot even write their name. They don't have no penmanship. They don't have no lines. So artistry still stands out to keep that in a sign of controlment with the style of the writing.
Do you have a black book?
I have a black book.
Cool. What's the oldest black book you've been carrying around?
I have a black book from 1974.
Wow, wow. Bring it in. Let's take a look at it sometime. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there a... What does graffiti mean to you?
It means my language that helped me translate my language.
Okay.
You know, graffiti opens a lot of barriers. Graffiti got me to meet Kool, meet Kevin Myers, meet all the legends, all the pioneers.
Who's Kevin Myers?
Kevin Myers is also an artist that he defined art in a different way that he does in a spray can, and he does all type of murals and style. It's not just about lettering, it's about telling a story when you do buildings and when you do space and when you do artistry of characters. And he did one of a man like going on space on the moon. Amazing. He did Man World. You know, it all depends. But also, I have other characters too, and other artists. Shane from Canada. Respect dearly. This man have a talent that I could call him masters of all masters, because it's not just one style, it's not one character, it's not one line. He's a master of all trade on that level. And these are the people that I always keep around me. You know, Griff, that be with Coke, is a high person that I respect so dearly. You know, he did a mural in Coke's house, and it came out amazing. You know, I gotta say this, Willpower. Why? Because Willpower saw a vision that I had the same vision. He put Kool in New Jersey City with 40 other artists of hip hop inside this tunnel, and would tell time, it tells history that this genre was built on.
Right.
So these are innovators in their own way. These are all different writers and graffiti artists in a different way, but we all stand for the same thing. Is to give it to the next person to bring it out. Andre, I gotta say Andre too. He does all the Yankee murals. Okay, respectfully, on the loose, I respect On the Loose. He does also a style of artwork and graffiti that stands out amazing. You know,
On the Loose?
On the Loose. You know, and I get along with every artist. I respect, you know, Uncut. You know, I'm just giving you some names, but there's plenty of so many names that I respect. You know, Inca. I respect Inca. Notch 56. You know, Frito. You know, all these people are just so special in their own ways. So if I see them that way, that's how they see me too. So I give it back.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you talk to me about this large statue we have here? Who made it? And it's you holding two spray cans with the Bronx symbol with your crossed arms.
Yes.
Talk to us about this.
The cross arm, I picked it up from Kool, DMX, and everybody, because we still stand up for the BX, you know, and it means empowerment, where I first did my first layout, and it's a structure and well put together of a great artist. His name is John Ahorn. Beautiful man, and he has also his own vision, his own style, And he did Coke La Rock, and suddenly he called me and said, "Lucky, I want to do you because I feel that you and Coke could never be broken because y'all have different elements within this genre, but y'all do it together and makes it so special. So I want to do a piece for you." So that's why I got the 2 cans. I don't got 1 single can. I got 2 cans. That means that I could do with both hands, artistry. I could do with my right or with my left.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Is there anything about writing that I haven't asked you that you like to cover here?
I would like to say, like I said, I really want to make an impact and let the youth, because that's the future. I want to pass the torch, just like Coke La Rock always want to pass the torch to the young, to let them know that we still here to this day. We still represent this culture. We still live it, eat it, even sleep with it. You know, we get up, that's what we do. Besides, don't think that everything will start overnight and you become a rich millionaire overnight. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication and a couple of scratches on your knees and your arms just to get there, but we get it done. And I'm so happy that I'm part of being a pioneer. I'm just so overjoyed when I meet all my peers and everybody, and I'm always with them because it's a humbleness. It's a beauty of his story that's forming back and just replacing the time that we left behind. And when we get together, it's like we bringing it back.
We have an exhibit every year on Aerosol Arts, and we do an event here at the museum. It'd be great for you to jump on, next summer. I'd love to see your statue here at the museum on exhibit, at the Aerosol Arts documentary project that we have every year. That'd be awesome. You're invited.
It's an honor.
To participate in it.
It's an honor. And I would like to also, I just don't come alone too, just to let you know. Mm-hmm. So, I got other people that could also be involved. And people that's in retirement, but they will come out of retirement out of the respect of Lucky Bling, the respect of Coke La Rock, the respect of TNT, the respect of Kevin Myers. Because this is what it's supposed to be. Giving respect and coming back and putting it on the table to give the youth a chance for them to understand what this craft and this artwork and this beautiful work that is all put together with all of us. So, your mind can go any way you want to go around the world. You just don't gotta just sit in one place and just admire. Put that in your thoughts and you will get there.
Awesome. Our last question. Before I ask you to write an hour black book for us, if you don't mind, what does the Bronx mean to you?
Oh, the Bronx means everything. The Bronx is like this. I was born in the streets. I was raised in the streets. I respected the streets for the street to respect me. I seen the streets. I lived the streets. I breathed the streets. Where you find me? In the streets in the Bronx.
Beautiful, brother. Awesome. Next, Lucky Bling and Coke La Rock and EmCee TNT clapping on the sidelines here for Lucky Bling. It's Lucky Bling for the Bronx Aerosol Arts documentary project. I'm Pastor Crespo for the Bronx County Historical Society. Peace.
Really give a special shout out to these special ladies that put all this together with Lucky Bling's project, Recognized Magazine. I want to give a special shout out to Y Lugo because she put a lot of work and effort putting this magazine with me together and really putting the essence of the 4 elements of the culture of hip hop throughout all the scenes. We got the graffiti writers. We also got the bombers. We also got the boogie boys. That means the breakers and the breaker girls. we have the B-boys, the B-girls, and also we have the fashion, we got the MC, and we got definitely the DJ. But on top of that, we got people behind the scenes that must be get recognized not once, but twice or three times that never been recognized. That's why they in Recognized Magazine, and this is well put together with Lucky Bling's project in Recognized Magazine with Y Lugo.
Lucky Bling, talk to us about this magazine, Recognize.
This Recognized Magazine was introduced to me and Coke, and I want to say thank you to TNT, that's created Spanish rap. Also with Champagne, that she's the CEO of the company. They reached out to me and Coke and they gave us an introduction piece to do one. And I took it a little bit further.
Okay.
What I told her was, okay, we're gonna do this piece for you and we're gonna represent you and show you all the love. But I want something that K Slay was gonna do.
Okay.
DJ K Slay is doing it in hip hop style, into videos, into music. And we pay a lot of respect to him because true pioneer, DJ, graffiti, artist, everything you could put together also, and it's so special. And rest in peace, K. We love you. But I spoke to K and K told me, Lucky, I want something fresh. I want something that, defines this cultural, historical thing. I said, listen, I got an idea that I need your help. And he said, okay, we're going to do 5 projects with Coke and us, and we're going to get it done. But, the COVID hit, and he's not with us. So TNT said, hey, Luck, we still could do it. I said, yeah, we're going to get it done, but I need somebody that I trust, somebody I respect. So he introduced me to Champagne. Champagne reached out, and she was a true pioneer also, because she been around all the legends. So I said, listen, Champagne, I'm going to go and do this for you, but I'm going to do a Lucky Bling's project my own way. How could I do it and how could I get it done and put it in a historical way for everybody to recognize?
Right.
Because the name of her company is called Recognize. So what we doing is recognize pioneers and legends that never been recognized, that still to this day exist.
Beautiful.
That never got their flowers, never got their dues. So I said with Coke, TNT, even Kevin, and other artists, and we made a game plan. And the game plan was who we should put. I said everybody. Whoever wants to step up to the plate. And everybody came, and I sat with them directly, because all these people I touch hands with. It's not just any Joe from across the street, no. All these people I touch hands with, me and Coke, TNT, and this is historical. It's telling the story of everybody in their own way, in their own language, in their own writing, and nobody fixed any words. Nobody made it into a commercial style. It's just rawness. So it's out of respect of the culture. If they want to tell a story that nobody knows, it's put in there. If they have a tragedy that they want to put in there and what created the culture, we got it there. And that's what we did. We made it happen. And then over here, when we got to the second one, we went a little bit farther because the first one was over 110 pages. So this one, we doubled it up. We did 220.
And you got DJ Fly Guy on there with you.
I got DJ Fly Guy. I got all the pioneers in this magazine. I got all the graffiti artists, mostly, that we have. So what we did, we combined from 1 to 2. And we tell a story, but we got everybody. I even got from Wild Style, Ramon.
Got it.
I got everybody. I got everybody that you can imagine. I got Sha Rock. I got, I got the twins. The legendary twins. I got, DJ Cut King. I got everybody. I got KS1. I got all the legends, all the pioneers that they were so amused that we put it. We got Rocky Buchanan. Okay, from Hip Hop Museum. Rocky got his own page. Everybody that we felt that had to be known, But the most beautiful thing is also, we even got special stories. And the special stories is that, you know, I got Coke LaRock's daughter to do a piece on him, and she sent it out, and we surprised Coke,
Nice.
you know, with the grandkids. So that's real historical, and everything is giving a tribute to graffiti, to breakdancing, to MCing, to hip hop. The whole elements of hip hop is all put here. We got all the bikers, we got all the gangs, we got people from all around the world. I got Japanese, I got Korean, with their language and in our language, American language, illustrated in this. So it took a lot of work, and this is not this piece is not overnight. This is us when we was at the Vandals. And thank you for all the people that they got involved, and everybody that showed the love. We got Will Power. He got his piece. So it's beautiful people, and I want you to at least everybody to come and check it out, because this is a powerhouse. This is historical. This is what it's all about. Here you go. Look at Kevin right there with his wall, with all the graffiti legends on the wall.
There you go.
You know. So
Kevin, can you give a shout out, brother?
All right, yep. I'm Kevin Meyer, and I just made this historical wall on 71st Street in the Upper West Side in the gallery. It's been there for about a year and a half. It was the first interactive art installation of its kind. It's a street art wall that replicates a street art wall. It's not a graffiti wall or a signature wall. So it's like a street wall with all the elements of hip hop in it: breakdancing, graffiti, singing, music. Art, you name it, and also it combines street art as well, which is a whole nother separate entity. But it's all combined together. People separate it all, but it's really a culture of New York City. It was invented here, and it's all kind of interwoves together. So we had all the people from all those different genres come and sign. We had over 300 legends and pioneers sign it, and it was a big success.
Awesome.
To bring the culture together.
Thank you, sir. Shout out MCTNT for the Aerosol Arts documentary project.
Thank you. Thank you,
Cool. Can we get Coke LaRock to support the Aerosol Arts documentary project?
Yes, definitely got to support forever, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next year for the big show you're giving. I
Yeah.
appreciate to be invited. I'll be there.
Thank
God
you.
is willing.
Awesome. And that he's talking about the Bronx
Yes.
Hip Hop Oral History
Yes.
Project exhibit that we're going to have
Yes.
November 2025
Everybody
through,
come.
thank you, sir, through April of 2026.
That's good.
Lucky Bling, shout out before we go.
shout out to everybody. BX. Peace.
Headspin. Kid Freeze's brand new.
Yes.
The Clave.